So I'm going to give you all a few moments to come on in. We're going to have a conversation today about cowards in our community disguised as strength. So I'm going to give you all just a few moments to come on in because I just recently had a revelation and I felt that it was my duty to share this revelation with you all. Let me see. There we go. All right. So, as you all know, I'm your host, Tonya TKO. Let me see. It looks like. There we go. There we go. All right. Today's topic is not going to be a fun one. Oh, I see people are already starting to come in. Somebody's saying, love this look. Well, I've been reading tarot today. I did let you all know that in the video before last that I'm doing some New Year tarot readings for people. And so I've been doing some tarot behind the scenes. And the divine gave me a realization today that has strengthened my resolve. That has, it put a rod in my spine, so to speak. So I'm going to give you all a few more moments to come on in. And so while we're waiting for that, let's talk about who we are and where we're at. It looks like I need to make this caption thing a little smaller. What's happening? Let me see if I turn this off. That's not the right one. Here, cloud captions. That's it right there. There we go. So I'm going to make it a little smaller. All right. So welcome in. It looks like everyone is calling me gorgeous. Thank you. This is my no makeup Nubian queen look. I got the jewel on my third eye. So come on in. I have already done readings for today. The readings do cost money and they are not the cheapest readings out there. However, if you want them with me one-on-one, you will invest. People say that my readings are accurate and fast. If there's anybody who's done a reading with me, you can tell them how it is. So, yeah. All right. So shout out your city, where you're at, where you're coming in from. Let me see. So we got Cali in the house. All right. Oh, okay. Where else do we have coming in? Hey, Elle, welcome in, my dear. Welcome. Danielle loves the head wrap. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, 1010 notification squad is in the house. Yeah. I see people don't want to shout out their city, so we'll just go on ahead and... Why is this? Oh, this one needs to get made smaller too. All right. There we go. All right, so we're just going to go ahead and get live on every platform. Let's go ahead and do that. We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn. We're live on Twitch. And it looks like we've just gone live on TikTok, but we shall see what happens there. So welcome in, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got Baltimore, California, San Diego, New Brunswick, Galveston, Texas. We have people from all over the United States and different parts of the world. If you're in a different country, go ahead and throw your country name up right now. You can even shout out the city you're in so I can see where we're coming in from all over the world. We got Toronto in the hizzy. That's the what they say, the New York of the New York of Canada. All right. So today we're going to be talking about cowards. We're going to be talking about not just cowards, but we're going to talk about the community, and we're going to talk about strongmen. And when I say strongmen, this is a term that refers to men and women, but there's an archetype of the strongman. the person who pushes through and bulldozes and does things however they see fit and just goes on about their business regardless of who they hurt, who they trample on, who they bulldoze over, who they neglect, right? The strongman archetype. Let me see if the Google. I can even try the chat GPT and see if ChatGPT has something in there for us. I've been having some problems with Google Chrome over the past few weeks. So I've had to switch back to Firefox like I used to use back in the days. I should have never switched over to Chrome. We got Dallas in the hizzy. Let me go ahead and set Firefox as the primary browser. Let me go to ChatGPT and let me see if ChatGPT can give us the archetype of the strongman. Let me go ahead and click on log on in. All right, let's see. Get my password up inside here. Come on in and make yourself comfortable while I'm doing this. Oh my gracious, come on. What is this thing doing? It says sign in with your pass key. That's not what I want to do. I'm trying to get away from the Google pass key. What's wrong with you? Like, come on. We are all going to have to find ways to, wow, my whatchamacallit is having problems too. I'm going to have to do something. I don't know what is going on. Well, now we're moving on over to Opera browser. So creative is saying it's the title for her. I know that's right. So let me get my music up as a matter of fact, so that we could be playing some music while we are doing this. Opera is the stronger of the browsers anyway, right? I mean, they really are. Let me get into my... All right.
You better turn up. You better be there when I shake. Watch me rockin' if I can't stop.
I know that's right. Listen.
If I should fall, just go ahead. Go and catch me, baby.
Stefan is answering whether we're live or not. All right, let me ask this.
Turn it up, turn it up.
Let's see.
Turn it up, turn it up. Turn it up, turn it up. Turn it up, turn it up.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I don't know how many of you have noticed that we are having electronic troubles all over the internet lately. All over the internet. Okay, here. Please describe the strongman archetype. ChatGPT is failing me. It says something went wrong while generating the response. If this issue persists, please contact us through the help center. This is interesting. This is really interesting. Let's see. I don't know what's happening. All over the internet, I'm having problems. You know what? Let me put it in Google. I don't understand. ChatGPT failed me today. Akia, if you haven't seen me, it's because the algorithm has you under. Join my text notification squad. All right, so let's So Google came up with it because ChatGPT failed me, Google Chrome failed me, Mozilla Firefox failed me. Let's put this on the screen here. All right. If you ever want to know a song that appears in my video, just Shazam it until that starts failing us too. It says strong men typically claim to have widespread popular support, portray themselves as the only one capable of solving the country's problems, and espouse a disdain for liberalism and democracy. British journalist Gideon Rockman described Vladimir Putin as the archetype of the model for modern political strongmen. Well, listen, I'm not even talking about political strongmen. I'm talking about just any type of person in your life, in your family, that posits and positions themselves as if they are strong without fallibility, as if they have it all together, they bulldoze over whomever. This is what we're talking about today. And in our community, there are a lot of cowards who are acting under the guise of strong men. They pretend as if they are strong. You know, I just finished doing a retreat, not this weekend, but the one before that, December 14th. Those ladies that came out there, that's strength right there. Having the humility to realize when you have an issue that needs correcting, that's strength. Being kind requires strength. Being vulnerable requires strength. Admitting that you don't have all of the answers requires strength. Admitting that you are fallible requires strength. And not attempting to use incompetence weaponized as strength, because no, that's weak. Pretending as if you can't do something so that somebody else can do it, not having the courage to get up off your flat ass and do it the right way. Listen, we have a lot of people who are pretending as if they are leaders in our community. And I'm not only just talking about men, because we have people in our community who attempt to hold their foot down on the ground immovably and pretend as if that's strength. Beating up on your children, that's not strength. I remember there was a video that I made about a year or two ago when I was talking about older people in our family and whether or not, if when they made a mistake, because you know, as people get older, they start getting more clumsy, they start making mistakes, they start leaving the stove on, they start dropping things, they don't clean up as well as they used to clean up in the past. And I asked you all whether or not you would feel the temptation to start punching your parent, to start slapping, whipping, to get a belt out and start beating and lashing your parent or an aunt or a grandparent or somebody older who had made a mistake. Why? Why not? Why not? Yet there are so many parents who they are their children. Let me say that again. Yet there are so many parents out there who are their children's first bully. They're the ones that teach their children to be afraid. They're the ones that teach their children to cower. That's not strength. Beating up on somebody who is not only physically less strong than you are, but also dependent on you for their survival, that's not strength. You're a coward. And we have a lot of cowards in our community. We have men who get up on the internet each and every day, and they find it so fit to talk about women on these podcasts. But you don't hear them opening up their lips, their claw, to talk about their oppressor. They got all these words to talk about what they feel women are doing wrong. But they got no smoke. Oh, none at all. They got no words for the men who got their balls on their back, Nah, they don't. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our community. Let's talk about the people who are heading our community, who are heading our families, who are pretending. Listen, if you know somebody, let me tell you something about people who get along with everyone. They're fake. They're fake. They're fake. They're fake. They're fake. Because they don't have the strength and the internal conviction to really truly be who it is that they are. They'll sit here in this person's face and talk about them behind their back. Sit here in this person's face and talk about them behind their back. They'll go talk to you about somebody behind their back and then go to somebody else to talk about you behind yours. That's not strength. That's not strength. Having boundaries is strength. Being able to have a deeply intimate and vulnerable conversation is strength. We have so many men out here. Listen to what it is that we're talking about. Listen. I see somebody writing, are we talking about XYZ? We're talking about what it is that we're talking about. We're talking about your family, CJ. We're talking about our community, CJ. There's so many men out here who are looking up, throwing themselves across the asphalt, rubbing their face against the concrete, hollering into the atmosphere about their woman leaving them. Any new person who comes around, they pretend as if they don't know why the woman left, right? But when she was talking to him, when she was having conversations with him, he's like, conversation over. I don't want to talk about this right now. You always nagging. You always finding something wrong. This again, right? Yet they don't have the courage to leave. Not only that, they don't have the courage to listen. Listening requires humility. Yeah. Listening requires strength. Like really sitting there and having an open, honest conversation with a person requires strength. But far too many of these men are afraid. They're afraid to really confront themselves and acknowledge that they don't have all of the answers. They're afraid to admit that all of this time that they've been asking you to submit, that they don't know what the F they're really truly doing. They want you to submit, but they don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. They don't. They're over there at night going bald and buckling under the pressure, sweating holes through their clothes, burning up at night in a fevered pitch, hollering into the abyss inside of them, afraid to let people know that they don't have it all under control. Meanwhile, they've been feeding you a damn lie. They've been feeding you a doggone lie that they are all knowing, that they are all strong, that they are God on the land, right? That they are the Most High and that you must submit and bow the knee to them. When instead of just telling the truth, that your family would do better if you two collaborated. That your family would do better if you stopped trying to pretend as if you were the damn overlord and you allowed the other seasoned, feasible adult collaborate and solve the issues together. So someone is saying eggnog, coffee, anyone? Here, let me help you with this. If you can't tell that we're having a serious conversation, I don't know what to tell you. I look like I'm playing. I look like we're talking about eggnog and some effing coffee. You better stay with the conversation, get with it, and either comment on what I'm talking about or get off the live. It's as simple as that. Or you can stay on the live and comment foolishness and get blocked. I'm not playing today. This is inappropriate. Let's continue forward. Welcome back in, Pem. Welcome. So, right now we're talking about how there are a lot of cowards in our community disguised as quote unquote strong men, disguised as people who have it all together. It takes humility to admit when you've made an effing mistake, when you've brought a man around your children who did not need to be around them. It takes humility to realize that you invited someone into you and your children's lives who did not have your best interests at heart. It takes humility to speak to your friends about the relationship that you threw all in their face and come clean and be like, you know what, this man is beating me. I need help. It takes courage when your child comes to you and they tell you that somebody has been touching them. Regardless of who that person is, it takes courage to blow up your whole entire life on the word of your child. That takes courage. It takes courage to have a heart-to-heart conversation with your adult children and say, you know what, I didn't always get it right. But not just give lip service. It takes courage to say, you know what, I'm going to seek out therapy, a life coach, a spiritual healer advisor, some new modalities. I'm going to go take some ice plunge bath, something. Go out hiking on the trail to go meet the divine. It takes courage. It takes courage to say, you know what, I got this wrong. It takes courage to say, you know what, I'm sorry. Or, because I don't like the term I'm sorry, because I am is one of the most powerful statements in our language. It takes courage to say, I apologize. I got that wrong. And then take the steps to right that wrong. If it's in the past, what can you do to vow that it'll never happen again? To make sure that it doesn't. What are you willing to do to change your programming? What are you willing to do? It takes courage. It takes courage to have worshiped in a religion that you know doesn't serve you anymore. And it takes courage to leave that religion when your whole family is still in, your whole neighborhood, or even your culture. When you have realized that this religion doesn't serve me anymore, it takes courage to go a different way and choose a different path. I'm going to be honest with you all, right? I'm going to be honest with you all. Many of us have trouble seeing the dysfunction in our life, in our society, in ourselves, because the religion in which we worship, that the very foundation of it is built on dysfunction. That some of us are out here worshiping a petty, small, vindictive, murderous, genocidal, misogynistic, imbalanced God. Yeah. So that we don't know what abuse looks like, because number one, we're in a religion where we are being abused by our quote unquote God. Not only that, the people who worship in this religion do not believe in boundaries and self-love. They don't. Because many of them advise you to stay with your abuser because they know deep in their heart that the God that they worship is an abuser too. and that there are many inconsistencies that exist in your religious text. It takes courage to say, you know what? This just doesn't resonate with me, because there are many of you who are so dug down knee deep in a religion that doesn't serve you. Yet, rather than having the courage to leave the community in which this religion is in, rather than having that courage, you double down and you try to be the best that you can be in this religion. So, I'm going to open up the floor for you all. I want to hear from you. Tell me, right? Tell me, what does it take courage to do? Because these are the ones that I came up with. There was someone who asked me, speaking of book, there was someone who asked me, in terms of self-development, what is the very first step that they can take in self-improvement? And I wasn't really sure what to advise them. And then it came to me later that night. And what came to me is Conversations with God, volumes 1, 2, and 3. That'll answer a lot of the questions that you have about a lot of the things that are going on internally, the inconsistencies, the hypocrisy that many of us are living underneath with our idea of God. So that there are those of us who are hating. We are hating our gender, hating another gender. We're hating our bodies. We're hating our sex and sexuality. We are hating other people's sex and sexuality. We are living with proclivities that we hate within ourselves because of the religions that we are worshiping in. That we are there begging and beseeching something outside of us to heal us, to give us the answers, to cover us, when, listen, when deep inside we know that the answer is inside of us. We know. In the retreat that we just finished doing, I did a past life regression. Before we did that, we did a pre-birth regression before we had come into this human existence, right? And there was somebody who was like, right before they came out of the birth canal, they were like, I gotta remember. And yes, absolutely. Because when I did my very first pre-birth regression, I remember the feeling, I'm going to remember, I'm going to keep all of this information and wisdom that I have. And then I came into this body and I couldn't speak. I couldn't talk, I couldn't speak, I couldn't even hold my head up. And by the time that I got so used to being in this human body, by the time that I could speak, I had forgotten most of what it is that I said I was going to come into this life and remember. How many people here have done a past life regression? Let me know. Here we go. Let's see. It takes courage to be different. To not go along with the normal crowd. Yes, absolutely. Being transparent for me takes a lot of courage. Yes. Pam says it takes courage to go seek higher education when surrounded by younger people having a family and living in a society that degrades education. Wow. That's deep. It does take courage. It does. I mean, I'm in school right now myself in a master's program, and I did not realize, I mean, maybe I'm just foolish. I don't know. I didn't realize that it was that big of a deal. I mean, I'm like, I'm going to continue to educate myself, right? Absolutely. I think conservatives aren't anti-education. They are not critical thinkers, LOL. Let's take this time to go inward instead of talking about other people. Stefan, this is an opportunity for you to talk about what it takes courage for you to do. I had the hiccups. I've done a past life regression recently. Okay, beautiful. All right. It's just about time for us to get up and take our dance break. I went to graduate school 9 months pregnant. Wow. That's something right there. That is something right there. So let us see what this is right here. All right, come on and get out of your seats. We're going to do a little dance just to keep the movement. Let me see how many minutes of exercise. Hey, come on, listen. Oh. All right. If you dance for that dance break, you got 2 minutes and 40 seconds of movement under your belt. All right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Okay, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that one in the next dance break. All right. So welcome back. Welcome back. Whew. Somebody talking about go Tonya. You're supposed to be up dancing too. The reason why I do these movement breaks is because our societies, we spend most of our time sedentary. I'm going to tell you, it takes courage for me to stand up here and dance on the live broadcast, sometimes looking very silly, but it takes courage to be so committed to your health that I would risk looking silly to dance here in the public, because I don't have the fancy dance moves that they're doing on TikTok and all of that. But what I do have is some happy popping beats that we can get up to. And I encourage you that if you're not getting up during my dance breaks, I encourage you to get up and do something, to have the courage to love yourself enough to say, you know what, even if I don't have the fanciest dance moves, I'm just going to get up and move. I'm going to do something, anything, even if it's just clenching your glutes, shrugging your shoulders, moving your arms. I did a somatic workout today, and all I had to do was hold my arms up like this and move them towards my knee. After a while, holding my arms up like this was very difficult. Just moving arms was difficult. So even if you just move your arms, just do something. Have the courage to be able to just do something. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. All right. I'm going to open up the phone lines and I'm going to offer some minutes of coaching right now. I'm going to invite someone who feels that they need to talk and would like some on-air live coaching right now to call up. It takes courage to get outside of your comfort zone, to try other cultures, religions, and ways of knowing, listening to others, or trying something that you know little or nothing about. Yes, absolutely, 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 absolutely. Stefan is asking me about my stress situation, my living situation and my stress. This is an opportunity for you to really focus on yourself. I didn't see you write your comment about yourself and what it takes courage for you to do and be, because it can be a distraction to focus on other people. Like it can be a distraction to concern ourselves with the journeys of others rather than really looking inside and figuring out what our own living situation is like, what our own levels of stress are like. So it can take courage for that. So I want you to answer that. I didn't see yours before, but if you can cut and paste it if you already put it up. It takes courage to be on your own healthcare advocate. Absolutely. Absolutely. And Ashley is saying your courage inspires me. Your lessons matter. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. So let me go ahead and get these phone lines up and running. While I'm opening that, we're going to put up a little song. Let's see what this is. Oh, wait. What is this? Hold on. This is going too hard. Let me get back to the song that we were up at before. Wait, what was that? All right. This was it right here. Oh, okay. Follow the crowd, the Carter religion. Okay, thank you for that.
Seguido me verán por el y navegar con un perfil bajo de andar. Traigo pa' caer de buena mente, siempre al frente y bien pendiente, listos pa' accionar. No soy de problemas, pero si buscan encuentran la pacata nunca de faltar. Y bien blancos son en el Acura 905, les de arremangar. Ey, siempre con mi Dios y mis ampuditas a la orden del viejón. Y con mi compita que no falte mi amor. Ella es muy bonita, sabe que la cuido yo.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna have to dance to that. I'm telling you. We're going to have to dance to that. I'm going to have to run that back. Okay. All right. We're going to have to run that back. Okay. All right. All right. Hold on. All right. Hold on. I just had to pause it. All right. 323-488-3149. The phone lines are open. I'm going to offer some live coaching on air right now. Oh, it takes courage for a selfless person to be selfish. Yes, that is very true. It takes courage to put yourself first. It takes courage to love yourself enough to know that you deserve your own advocacy. Yes, that takes courage. Absolutely, absolutely. And what else takes courage? In the society that we're in today, it takes courage to have compassion for the less fortunate. That takes courage because these people are so busy trying to talk about how they are Christians, but they don't have compassion, because if Jesus himself had come from the Middle East, if Jesus's mother had needed a place to give birth, these so-called quote unquote Christians nowadays, the conservative Christians, they would not even give shelter to Jesus. And we all know that. We all know that. All right, so the phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. It takes much courage not to follow the crowd. That is true, especially when everybody else is doing something. So someone is saying it's not a WhatsApp number. Let me see, let me see if I have let me see, because I had the WhatsApp app on here, but let me see. Get started. Let me scan it. Let me see if I can. Oops, my thing came off. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. I'm trying to. I'm trying to, I don't see any of the comments from people on TikTok, so I don't even know what's happening over there. Let me see if I can get this WhatsApp on here. Let me see, because I may have, oh, here it is. Let me use a different number. Let's see, 323-488-3149 next. Oh, they're going to make me jump through a whole bunch of hoops, but I am taking calls. The number you entered is not a valid mobile number for the US. What? How are you going to say that? Oh, wow. They're trying to 32348. Well, it looks like I can't get back into WhatsApp because the number that we're using is a Google Voice number, but they're trying to make me use the mobile phone number. Oh, that's wild. It's coming through. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see. Let me see. Why is it coming through here? Hello? Let me see. Where did this come from? Oh, how do I fix this? Because it's coming through the wrong area. All right, let's see. Which devices will it come through? Let's see. Let's see. Cancel, cancel, cancel. Let me go to calls. So hold on. Let me put the music back up while I'm trying to figure this part out. Give me 1 second, y'all.
Seguido me verán por el ley navegar con un perfil bajo de andar. Traigo pa' caer de buena mente, siempre al frente y bien pendiente, listos pa' accionar. No soy de problemas, pero si buscan encuentras la pacada nunca de faltar. Y bien blancos son en el Acura 905, les de arremangar. Ey, siempre con mi Dios y mis anjuditas a la orden del viejón. Y con mi compita que no falte mi amor.
All right, okay. This song is going so hard. All right, I think I got it fixed now. So let me see. So try calling now. Try calling now. It takes courage to be around my own family, knowing they feel that I'm not as financially stable as they are. I constantly have to defend my status and the fact that I am independent. Well, you actually don't have to. You could that's a choice. You don't have to defend nothing. You could be easy and not worry about all of that stress and stuff that's coming from that. You still got a choice in that because that does not sound fun at all. Okay. And courage to be around them. It might take some courage not to be around them because if you know, like I know, shoot, if they don't listen, they're caught up in some sort of fallacy that money equals anything more than what it equals. Money is not indicative of anything other than a number. That's it. They need to chill. You need to chill too because All right. So we had received a call. Let me try calling that number back and see if we can get through. Cause all right, I hear something. I hear something now. Let's see. It takes courage to drink my water and mind my business and refrain from whooping my sister-in-law tail. Lord have mercy. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from? Uh-oh, the person hung up. Maybe she only heard me talk about whooping someone's tail. Oh, my. Well, listen. She answered at an inopportune time. What can I do? I was already in the middle of the sentence. I didn't know. She didn't say nothing. It takes courage to be authentic and proud. Yes, I feel you on that. Phone lines are open. Here's the number going across the screen right there, 323-488-3149. Oh, my. Oh, my gracious goodness. Oh, my. Let me see. Hold on. I need to connect my phone. Let me see. How do I? Not now. Let me. I need to connect my phone. So leave your number in my phone, in my phone, in my phone. Let me see if I can connect my phone. I gotta connect to my, I gotta connect to the Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi. All right. So Vanessa's saying, I agree with your response. I tell myself the same thing. Thank you. Well, you're welcome, because look, you don't look. It ain't, you don't have to feel no type of way. You don't have to feel no type of way. They're trying to get me to install an update. That's a trap, because the next thing you know, that update is going to throw everything out of whack, and then it's going to need to be restarted, and then it's just going to be a whole mess, a boondoggle. I see I done brought the word popularity, because I done heard the word twice now in 2 days, and I'm like, who has gone and dug up this little known word that I made popular to now come use it? That's one thing that I can't stand about certain people. Right. So I am waiting for the phone, but look at what it is that I see. Look at what I see. Hey, 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 hey. Wow. Wow. So Steve has sent through a super apple. And Steve says, oh my goodness, why is it doing all of this? It says looking good. Let me see. I'm trying to move this down. Oh, it's not showing. Hold on. Cash App has changed their whatchamacallit. So Steve, let's see. Oh, there's a picture of Steve. Let's see. Oh, Cash App. Oh, look. Okay. Steve has sent through a super apple with the message, looking good, Tonya. Oh, why, thank you. Why, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Let me send you some hearts back. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, Steve. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Wow. I appreciate that. It's been a while. And you know, the crypto market is doing so well now that I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So the phone lines are open. So Steve, listen, when my app is up, I'm expecting you to join the app, because that's how we're going to be doing super apples in the future. And I'm working with an app designer to make a graphic come across the screen when a super apple comes in and all of that. So yes. All right. So phone lines are open. Oh, what is this? Where's my phone line? All right, here we go. So phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. Socialite Paula is raising up her hands. Thank you. I appreciate that. Or is that? Oh no, that's a bottle of champagne. I thought that was a hand up in the air. That's the bubbles from the champagne popping out. All right. So I guess no one is going to call in. I know that there are people who want to call in, but they're probably waiting for somebody else to call in. So I've given my talk. So if there's nobody who wants to call in, then I will continue forward with my day. But I'm giving you the opportunity to call in now. So 323-488-3149. Yeah, you know, these companies are really getting too invasive. Like, why does WhatsApp need to have the actual telephone number to a device? Like, you don't really need that. You're supposed to talk about how the XYZ is encrypted. Yeah, okay. Yeah, all right. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I'll just talk with the people in the audience then. So, L, we have breaking the chains. We have a Stefan in the house, Yolanda. The phone lines are open 323-488-3149. And I'm offering coaching on any subject that you may need assistance with today. If not, then I'm just going to jump out of here, as a matter of fact, because I've given the information that I felt that I was called to give, because I originally started this video because I had the download from Divine that there's a lot of people in our lives who are pretending as if they are one thing when they are really not that thing. That rather than having the humility to have flexibility to change and pivot and do things in a different way, they're going to hold on to the old way that they used to do things. They're going to continue to beat up on their children. They're going to continue to ignore their partner. They're going to continue to ignore the things that they know are not going right in their lives. They're going to continue to do all of that. They're going to continue and do it under the guise of quote unquote strength. So I'll tell you all this right here today, right? That some of the households that you grew up in, some of what you considered to be quote unquote strength was actually weakness. It was actually cowardice. It was actually inflexibility. It was actually stubbornness. It was actually ignorance. It was a lot of things, but it wasn't strength. Maybe the strength in ignorance, or having the strength to remain ignorant. I really don't know how else to put it other than that. So this right here is when I was on my healing journey, I went into this shop and I found this this stone, or what is this? Give me 1 second. I found it and it called to me. You ever just went into a shop and something just called out for you? And I remember that. So I had so this right here is called oh, I can't see the name of it. Oh, how did I forget the name of this? Shoot. I'm sure I wrote it down inside my journal when I bought it. I'm sure I wrote it down inside there. But I can't remember the name of what it is. But I know that it's something that's supposed to help with manifestation or change. I know that much. I know that much. It's not moldavite because I have moldavite already, but I don't know what it is. Those of you who are gemmies out there, you have to let me know. You know what? I can't. I just I need to figure it out now. I'm perplexed. I'm confused. But you know what? What I'll do is I'll search, because I'll show you what it looks like up close, so that you can, for those of you who are gemmies and you know, because it's I wish that I could remember this. I wish I could remember, but this is how it looks. Can you see that? Let me turn down the light just a little. Oh, you can see that right there. You see how that looks? So you see it has like a little bit of brown in it. And then on the back, you can see it has some sort of amber in there. It has a tag in there, but the tag just has like the price on it, or like the item number, but it doesn't say what it is, because when I buy these things, I always look them up and all of that. But if I could, I wish I could remember it right now. I wish I could remember. But you know what? Listen, we're going to go ahead. We're going to dance and we're going to get out of here. I don't know if there's anybody who tried to call, because I tried to return that one phone call back, but then the person, it disconnected. So I'm taking that as a sign that it just wasn't meant to be. Because if it was meant to be, then it would. And so let me see if I can, identify this gem before I get. It's not. It's either a gem or a stone. I don't think it's jade because jade would be much more expensive than this. Let me see. Please identify a green gem or stone. Let me see. It's rough dark green. Let me see. Rough dark green and flecks of amber. Let's see. List of 31 green gems and their meanings. Let's see what if this has it in there. Let's see. Okay. So there's emerald, morsitsit. I think it's malachite. Let me search. Let me search because I think it's malachite. Let me see. Is it malachite? Let me see what unfinished. Let me see what raw malachite looks like. Raw malachite. Backspace. Enter. Oh, someone's calling. Oh, you're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from? Oh, I don't hear anything. Let me see. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Hi.
Let me
Steve,
start.
California.
Malachite. Let me see.
What's your name, sir?
Steve.
I can't hear you.
Steve.
Oh, is this Steve Mayfield?
Let me see.
No.
Oh, okay. So you have to turn down my broadcast in the background.
I just did.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, so tell us what triggered your call today, Steve?
I want to know. You said there were people in the community who thought that they were emulating strength, but in actuality were emulating cowardice.
Yes.
Or did I get you right?
No, that's it. That's it exactly.
But PTSD is can be passed down intergenerationally.
Yeah. How does that relate?
Our entire culture was traumatized through slavery.
Okay, so a person can still be a coward and be traumatized.
But that's not healthy to begin with. You can't be. I would argue like this, that yes, it is possible to be a coward and be traumatized.
Okay.
But when you don't start off with a healthy base to begin with, you don't see the impact that would even have on your development as to whether that would even move you towards becoming a coward or affecting your life.
I think two things can be true at once. And then also,
Yes.
see, so this is the thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes the courage to realize that there's an issue. Okay, so I have been traumatized. I had a rough upbringing. I had this happen to me. I'm the descendant of people who were traumatized. And then once you realize that, what steps are you taking to create a shift or a change? So yeah, there are many people in the community who are cowardly, continuing to beat your children mercilessly when they can't defend themselves. That's cowardly. Does it
Oh
mean
yeah,
because
definitely. I would agree with that.
does it mean that because you're doing it that you're not being a coward because you yourself were traumatized? You know the child can't defend themselves. You know the child is dependent on you for food, water, and
Of
shelter,
course.
and then beating up on
Yeah.
them. So I don't see how it relates because okay, we're traumatized. Now what? Now what?
Well, if you're traumatized, then what happens is that everything that stems from that is going to be an aspect of that.
And so
In the
is
sense that
healing.
it's the fruit of the poisonous tree.
Right, but
I'm saying essentially what I'm saying is this, is that I grew up in a time when people would whip their children before the laws took effect and all like that. Okay. My grandmother used a bullwhip in order to get the kids from under the bed. Not to say that she beat them with it, but she would crack it so that they would move. when you come out of a disciplinary system, that that's how discipline was enforced, the whooping and things like that. Okay, then what happens is that you're going to be affected by it, and you're going to pass that down because that you're going to say, well, this is what worked for me. Okay,
Yeah, I
it
feel
doesn't work
like,
for.
so hold on. I feel like two things can be true at once. Okay,
Hmm.
we were traumatized, and what are we doing about it? We can't just keep walking around, oh, I was traumatized, oh, my people were traumatized. What are we doing? Are we getting therapy? Are we working to heal it in any way, shape, or form, especially the people who are exhibiting the behaviors that I talked about in the early part of the video? So, what are you
So,
doing? In what ways have you been cowardly, Steve?
oh, if you want to bring it down to me,
Yes, we're on the
this,
phone.
yeah. Well, there were many times when I felt cowardice. But
Okay.
by the same token, though, you can't quite use me because I'm kind of phobic. When I feel cowardice, I get angry. When I get angry, I forget about the cowardice, and now I want to make up for the fact that I felt that to begin with. So that's one thing about that, as far as I would be concerned. Okay, there were many a times I can actually say, okay, that there were things that I would have never done for myself, but I did for my family. So if you were to call that cowardice, that's of a type of in itself.
Yes, of
But moving back
course.
to but moving back to the general, I would say to you like this: that culturally, we were taught that the way you discipline is the whipping.
Okay.
Okay, so even though on an individual basis, okay, we all have to choose our path as far as seeking to get healed. And even then, the nuance is that men and women can't even use the same therapies to some degree
Can't use the
because
same
we react
Fabries.
differently. Huh?
Can't use the same Fabries. What are you saying?
No, we can't use the same therapies. Only in the sense of saying to you
Therapies.
like this.
So,
Well, our brain structure, our biological, our brain structure, and everything about us to a large degree is different. We both have different. We run into different systems.
well, you know what? I'll say this. Let me just interrupt you right there, please. Um,
Go ahead.
Men and women are different. Yes. The theories, the psychological theories that the founders of the field of psychology have taught were based on a male model, right? Women were primarily institutionalized for exhibiting normal behaviors that men
Yes, I
decided that
remember
they
that.
wanted to be institutionalized for. So
Hmm.
I I hear what you're saying, and I feel like you're dancing around, not really addressing the true issue. Let me just say this so
Well,
that let me just say this. Let me say this so that you could understand.
mhm.
I don't care about the fact that in the past, listen, I don't care about in the past that we, you, me, I don't care. What are we doing today? What are we doing right now? Rather than talking about something that happened in the past. Or right. So those same people who used to whip their children, do these people in current day, now that beating is off the table, do these people in current day have the courage to even sit down and have a heart to heart conversation with their adult children? Have they apologized for the abuse, and have they done anything to change their ways?
So, if we go according to what you said, okay, if I were to go to a doctor and they were to do a differential diagnosis, they would have taken into account the history of my symptoms. They wouldn't just dismiss them out of hand. Now, you said, well, I'm not interested in the past. Those were your words, if I got you right. Did I understand you correctly?
I said, I don't care. What are we doing now? Just so that we could be
Okay.
on the same
So,
page.
so, so in order to do a differential diagnosis, Okay, if we exclude the past and we're only going according to the symptoms that you have now, okay, then children, children, adult children who have been whooped and have been affected by their parents, okay, they're adults now. They
Mm-hmm.
have to make they have to be exposed to the thought of therapy. Most people don't. Most people, especially in the African American community, you know as well as I, there's a stigmatism towards it.
And I don't care about there being a
Well,
stigma. Now what? I don't care.
okay, so we get rid of the stigma. Okay,
Even if we have the
then what
stigma,
happens?
this is the cowardice that I'm talking about.
Yeah, but that's the thing. What happens is that if there's a if there's a stigma for seeking help in therapy, that
Hmm.
has to change. And so the thing about it is
It
that
doesn't have to
if
change. We
hmm?
can't we can't change other people. We can't
So we
change
have to
how
do
other people feel about it. Listen to what I'm saying.
I agree.
We can't change how the society, how the community, how other people, and then also therapy is only one way. Therapy depends on the psychological theories that are created in these bodies of thought. Psychology is a science that is still developing. There are other ways. There are other ways to find healing. Are these people meditating? Are they going out on long hikes? Are they even self examining? Are they journaling? So you don't even have to call it therapy. What is the person doing to heal? That's what I want to
So
know.
so so here, I would
Yeah.
ask you.
Yes, ask
You
me.
you you as a person who meditates all the time, I practice stretch and kriya. Now I would ask you, okay, when you say meditate, what do you mean? To give
Listen.
you an example,
Oh, this is getting good. So, okay, you asked me a question. What do I mean when I say meditate? From what it is
yeah.
that I know about meditation, meditation merely requires the silencing, as much as you can, silencing of the mind or the concentration on a thing or just existing, because they are walking meditations. There are meditations where you concentrate on the breath. There are meditations where you just say one word over and over. There are meditations where you attempt to clear the mind. There are meditations in which you don't speak for several days. There are many different types of meditations. When I say, does a person meditate, I am offering one option for a person to look inward, to self reflect, or to quiet their mind, or to just be in the walk of trying to
You
find
mean
some
the moment,
healing.
if I may?
Sure.
Okay. Um, you know it that way. I know through Patanjali, where
Okay.
you get the original version, some of the original versions. See, you just codified it. Well, there are the two types: insight and mindfulness. Okay, but in order to do self-reflection, I would argue to some degree
Mm-hmm.
that you have to reach a certain level of understanding of yourself and of the world around you, because essentially you can live in the world, okay, but if everything, and as you pointed out, don't as a point, I'm not disagreeing with you on the fact that each person has to go and do the work. Okay, each person has to take the time to do the work. But our society is not geared towards that. It's geared towards instant gratification. And so what happens is that when you're fighting against that on a societal level, and then you bring it down to the individual, most individuals do not want to self-reflect.
And
It's very it's, so. No, I'm saying
that's the
so. Really,
cowardice
when
that
you
I'm talking about. Like, Steve, you and I agree, but you're spending so much time talking about all of the reasons. You've moving the goalposts, you go in here and there. We're talking about the definition and modalities of meditation and mindfulness. Now we're talking about Patanjali's. What does this have to
no,
do
that's
with a
the same thing.
person looking at, are they journaling? Are you going to tell me they don't have a pen and paper?
I've recommended it.
This is what I'm
I
saying.
journal.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, right? There's a
Hmm.
lot of cowardice in our community. We cannot continue to operate from the place of I have been hurt. That is a sentence and a statement. It's not a it's a statement. It's not a full sentence. There's still more that exists. I have been hurt and
Yes, but a survival mentality comes out of that, and first you have to get rid of that. If you can't, it's kind of like this. The entire point of when we even talked about meditation earlier, is to still the mind so that what happens is you can literally see your reactions to things. So that what happens is you can self-reflect. If you come out of hurt, then you're coming out of survival. And people who are in survival mode have a hard time looking at anything except through the eyes of survival.
okay.
So the thing about it is that, as you pointed out, where do we go from here? Well, the only
Right.
thing that we can do, hmm?
I said right.
Yeah, sorry. So the only thing that we can do is, as you pointed out, you're doing the work. I'm doing the work. The thing about it is that you can lead a horse to water, but to give an example, I would tell you like this. I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was explaining to her
Mm-hmm.
that about how to do the work, what the work entails,
Yes.
and and there was a blind spot, and I could see it,
Okay.
and I couldn't argue, and I quite literally couldn't argue with her because she wanted to defend that core of a blind spot. A lot of times I would tell you like this: there is so much trauma because we've gone through the crack epidemic.
Oh
We've
my
gone
goodness. Now we're
through.
talking about crack.
No. I'm saying no. We're not talking about it. I'm
We
saying that
talking about
the
crack now. You're
impact.
talking about the crack epidemic. Go ahead. Talk to me. Talk to me, a black woman from the Bronx, about all that we have been through. What I am saying is, you said you could lead a horse to water, right?
Yeah, but you can't
Okay.
make them drink.
Well, the motherfucker gonna have to drink sooner or later, or it's gonna die. This is what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying, Steve, please, so that we could be on the same page, right?
I want to be. Go ahead.
Okay. Bad things have happened.
Yes.
Each person, you see, what you're doing is you are negating the God in each person, the goddess in each person, that energy, that sliver of the light of universal oneness, that power. Each person has it inside of them. We have come onto this earth, right? And we are all beings of divine. We are all divinely created. We are all divine beings. And I had an epiphany. Listen, I went on a journey. I'm not going to say because it's not quite legal the journey that I went on, but I went on a journey and I had an epiphany, right?
Okay.
Coming into this existence with the amount of melanin that we have, there's a certain amount of power that is already embedded in us as beings.
I
There's
agree
some
with you.
there's some people who are melanin deficient, and there's some stuff that's going on with them where some of their souls are not even from this earth, right? Like some of these people, like there's one person trying to get back to Mars. For those of you who know about Martian souls, for those of you who don't, well, we may talk about that one day. I don't know. But to
Maybe
incarnate,
we will. I know what you're referring to though. But go ahead.
okay, to incarnate as one of us, people of the sun, us melanated beings, right? There's a certain amount of soul development that we have already had before we chose to come into this existence, right? And this
Yeah.
exists for women as well. You have to incarnate and come to a certain level in order to be able to incarnate as woman, right? So, what I'm saying is that I will not sit here and speak to another divine being as if I don't know that the divinity exists inside of them. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. Listen and hear me, right? When a person's
Yeah.
life is not going right, they feel it. They know. They know.
Yes. It's
When
feedback.
like how, listen please, like when you said you had this conversation with your female friend, and you couldn't get through to her because she was committed to believing a certain thing that she chose to believe. When enough of her relationships erode, when enough of her health deteriorates, when enough of her finances are in the toilet, when enough of her life is not going right, she's going to have to look up and say, why? How did I get here? Why is this like this? How do I get onto the other side of it?
Everybody comes to that. I would agree with that.
Oh,
I've said that many times myself.
okay.
When after at a certain point in life, we all do. We all have to self-reflect and see whether we make correct decisions or not. But here's the thing.
Yeah, tell me the
As
thing.
you pointed out, as you pointed out, we are spiritual beings living a material existence. Consequently, what happens is this: some people can come to it immediately. Some people take a while longer.
And
And so what happens is this: you can't cast pearl before swine.
I
If they don't,
can.
if
I
they
can
don't,
cast anything before swine.
well, you can. You can. Oh, don't get me wrong. You can throw your preciousness out there before swine
Listen,
if that's what you wish to do.
right
But
now,
what I'm referring
there's
to.
300 people on this broadcast, Steve, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's 300
Yeah.
people on this broadcast. Some of the people are
Mm-hmm.
not hearing what I'm saying. One person was talking about eggnog earlier and they got blocked. Everybody's not going to hear what it is that I'm
Right.
saying,
I'm
but
sorry. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
putting the message out there. There's cowardice in the community. I planted the seed. I don't have to force the seed to grow. When the conditions are right enough, what will happen, Steve? Tell me.
It will grow. It will grow on
Oh,
its own.
yes. Yes.
It will grow on its own.
Yes. The seed will grow when the conditions are right. Is it my responsibility to try to enact the genetic coding? You know what happened when I was a little girl? My mother used to grow roses. And
Mm-hmm.
I was a little girl. She had these rose bushes, and this was early in the spring. I wanted to put a flower in my hair. So I saw a rosebud there on the branch. And you know what I did as a child? I plucked it off
Mm-hmm.
and I began to peel back the little flowers. What happened, Steve?
Oh, you were killing the plant.
Okay. Why? It wasn't ready yet. I, as a human being, cannot force the flower to open. However, with the divine energy that exists in each one of us, when it is time for that bud to open, it'll open. I am merely here planting the seed. I'm just planting the seed.
Yeah, I understand exactly what you mean.
Yes.
But as you
There's no
pointed out,
but.
it's
That's
like
the end. That's the
when the time
end.
comes.
That's the end right there. There's no but. That's it. That's it.
No, I'm saying as you pointed out, that is all you can do is tell people. You can't you when the
Let me
time is right.
yes,
It
let
will
me ask
grow.
you a question because it's we're past our dance break now at this time. Do you dance during the dance breaks or are you new to the show?
Oh no, no, no! I can't dance at all right now.
Why?
Um,
Why can't you dance, brother?
no, no. I have had surgery and everything like that. So what happens is that I can't do any of that.
You can't
Um,
move?
the,
Can you stand up?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I can stand up, but only for a limited period of time. I can sit down for limited periods of time, and I can walk for limited periods of time.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm going to put on some music. All I ask is you try to flex something. Can you flex anything on your body?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, I'm going to put
I
on some
can.
music and I'm just asking you to just flex and release. Flex and release to the beat, okay?
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for calling in. Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So listen, it is time for us to get up and dance. I appreciate that phone call. I saw some of you telling him to get off of the phone, but I didn't see any of you calling in. We need to congratulate the person who had the courage to call in. That's courage right there, to put your voice and name out there before the public, that takes courage. That is courage right there, to talk to a person who you may feel has a different point of view and you're trying to educate them. That takes courage. So for those of you who are talking about get off the phone, all of this, you need to be calling in. Why don't you call in? Have some courage. Have some courage. Have some courage. So some of you are just really hard on people, and I don't know or understand why, because none of you called in. He did, and I appreciate that because he helped liven up the show. So let's get to our song that we are going to play. This song is 3 minutes and 9 seconds. So if you dance to this, you're going to get 3 minutes of workout in. So get up out your seat, and for Steve out there, just do a little bit of flex and release, okay? Come on, get out your seat, y'all. Come on. Come on.
Seguido me verán por el lane navegar con un perfil bajo de andar. Traigo pa' caer de buena mente, siempre al frente y bien pendiente, listos pa' accionar. No soy de problemas, pero si buscan encuentran la pacada nunca de faltar. Y bien blancos son en el Acura 905, les de arremangar. Ey, siempre con mi Dios y mis anculitas a la orden del viejón. Y con mi compita que no falte mi amor. Ella es muy bonita, sabe que la cuido yo. Porque la prende, la fuma, la pasa, la para elevarnos un rato. Nos vamos de antro, muy destapando, siempre enfiestado, pacas tronando y en arrancones me ven zumbando. Me ven zumbando, muy destapando, siempre enfiestado, pacas tronando y en arrancones me ven zumbando. Me ven zumbando, me ven zumbando. Siga la fiesta. A los 20 años ya coronamos y desde abajo empecé a triunfar. Fuerte, placoso, bien belicoso y oloroso, vuelvo a Versace. No soy de problemas, pero si buscas la encuentras, la pacada nunca de faltar. Y bien flacos son en el Acura 905, le de arremangar. Ey, siempre con mi Dios y mis ancuditas a la orden del viejón. Y con mi damita que no falte mi amor. Ella es muy bonita, sabe que la cuido yo. Porque la prende, la fuma, la pasa, la para elevarnos un rato. Nos vamos de antro, muy destapando, siempre enfiestados, pacas tronando y en arrancones me ven zumbando. Me ven zumbando, muy destapando, siempre enfiestados, pacas tronando y en arrancones me ven zumbando. Me ven zumbando, me ven zumbando. Me ven zumbando. Me ven zumbando. Que siga la fiesta, ¿no?
Wow, that was good. Wow, that was good. If you danced to that, you got in 3 minutes and 9 seconds of movement. So I'm happy about that. Whew, man. Oh. Sarah saying Facebook made me disappear. Well, now you're back. You have to comment. You have to join the text notification squad. Well, you know what? We're going to have the text notification squad up for another 4 months, and then we're 4 to 6 months, and then we're switching over to the app. So I appreciate all of you who are on the text notification squad now. You will get discounted pricing to the app when the app is available. So I'm happy. Part of the reason that we did the text notification squad was so that, I'm tired, was so that you could, where's my name? My name is not on me. So that you all could get the, so that you could get, so that you could get the notification for when I'm live. Oh my goodness. All right. Ooh, that song was nice, wasn't it? That was nice. Did you dance, Pam? All right, so listen, I'm going to try to take one more phone call. Let's see, we're talking about courage in the community right now. We're talking about courage, and I'm offering some coaching to anyone who calls in now. The telephone number is 323-488-3149. Whew. All right. So Vanessa's saying I did a belly dance and it heated me off. I know that's right, girl. I know that's right. Let's see. So I have altogether today 32 minutes of exercise. In the whole day, I've only burned 374 calories. So I don't know how I'm going to get another 300 burned or 200 burned before the day is up. What happened is when I used to weigh more, it was easier to burn calories, but now that I weigh less, it's more difficult to burn calories, which is really a little disappointing, but it is what it is. Was on the squad before, but new card. All right, Sarah, well, get back on the squad. www.tonyatko.com/text. It is in the description of this and every video. So the phone lines are open, 323-488-3149. I am going to ended up making a line dance premise saying I'm going to keep it open for just a little while longer, and then I'm going to jump out of here because that was a good one. That was a good one. That song was just so interesting. It was so interesting. It had a nice beat, and it was in a different language, and he was talking about some stuff. Who knows? Who knows? I wasn't listening to the lyrics. I was just dancing to the beat. Oh, all right. So Giggles is saying get a Fitbit. No, thank you. I had a Fitbit. It didn't give me what it is that I needed. And I just, I actually have a Fitbit. I have a Fitbit and I have a Samsung. I kept trying different watches until I found one that I liked, and I like this one. This is the best that I have found for me, and I'm not advocating any particular brand. So that is that. All right, so no one is calling in. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and jump off of here. I appreciate all of you for coming out. What is your self-love lesson from today's video? Trina is saying it could be your cortisol levels. What does cortisol have to do with calorie burned? You know, what does that have to do? Tell me what you feel that it has to do with calories burned. Whew. And then also I have, I get my blood work done regularly. And I wonder if, oh, someone is calling now as soon as I was about to get off. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Tonya, this is Leslie. How are you?
Oh, Leslie. Oh, what did you do during our dance break?
I danced. I enjoyed the song. Thank you.
Oh, that's wonderful. Giggles is saying, mine says I burned over 1,200 and I've barely done a thing. Well, that's probably why I don't have the Fitbit anymore. The Fitbit was telling me some numbers that didn't make sense either. But nonetheless, so Leslie, what dance did you do? Did you do hula? Did you do some squats? What did you do?
I did like a heel toe movement. I grabbed a pillow. I raised it over my head, brought it back down, and then swung from left to right. I followed that a little bit, and then I just like made up some stuff, and I got a good workout. So
oh, wonderful! I'm so happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that. That's why I do the movement break. So it really helps me to know that people are out there moving and that they're not just standing there just watching me make a FOOL of myself. So you're on the air live, and we're talking about cowardice in the community. So what are your thoughts on everything?
Well, the funny thing is, like you said, just having the ability to call in and not think about what others are saying as we're on the live takes a lot of courage. Mm-hmm. I did want to speak to you earlier, but it's kind of sort of about what you're talking about. So as you know, I left for Africa almost 4 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it took me courage to return because I initially thought people would look at me like I was a failure, that whatever
Mm.
goal I had set while I was there
Yeah.
was not. But I had to encourage someone and tell them returning also takes a lot of encourage
Yes.
too. And
Yes.
I use the term retreat. Retreat means to back away from a situation, regroup yourself, and then go back into the battle or to set yourself up to go for that win. And I
Mm-hmm.
had to understand that. I didn't realize when I returned that there was challenges that I would be faced when I returned. And it was starting to wear on my spirit, and there was a level of anxiety that I was receiving. And I remember when I bought your book about affirmations,
Mm-hmm.
it's still in my house in Africa.
Mm.
But something said to me, grab a pen and paper and start writing every morning what you are thankful for and what your goals are. In the I am, just like you
Yes.
said, the
Yes.
I am.
Yes.
I am this, regardless of what you see around you, regardless of what you hear other people saying. And it took me about maybe a week to start using F bombs because I was cursing out of anger and anxiety. The
Oh.
words that came out of my mouth changed, and
Oh.
I got a breakthrough. What I was
Oh.
asking for, I got. And so I was
Oh.
very grateful. And I wanted to send you a letter last week, and I didn't. So I'm going to take this opportunity to get on the phone and just say thank you. I appreciate the words that come out of your mouth.
Thank you. That is so beautiful. And I will also take the letter. I'm in the process of gathering testimonials right now for the new website. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, I will send the letter this afternoon or later this evening. I will send you the letter. It just helped me stay focused because there's so many distractions, and I just had
I
to
need you
reel
to
my
just
thoughts
pause for
in.
just one moment. Give me just a second, Leslie. Marcus Gray is saying gender has nothing to do with cognitive reasoning skills or lack thereof. Sadly, the data shows that that is not true. The data shows that women cognitively outperform men in terms of reason, decision making, logic, and rationale. That little girls, that it becomes apparent when little girls, listen, the CDC just had to drop their qualifications they had to lower their qualifications for baseline. I need to do a whole new week's viral videos. They had to drop their baseline for what exactly are the markers for healthy development. They have male advocates that are advocating for boys to start school a year later just so that they could cognitively be able to keep up with the little girls. Little girls form language before boys. I just, come on, this is it. Gender or sex does definitely have an effect. And the fact that we have so many men walking around talking about their leaders and they don't have the capability of really truly leading, like you, if you had the humility to know what the data actually says, you wouldn't be making a statement like that. Marcus, please, please, please. I don't know if it's because the pants are a little too tight and they squeezing, a lot of men think that they got they information right down in there. I don't know if the pants are squeezing all that information, pushing it to the back or splaying them to the sides. I don't know. But listen, loosen up, man, loosen up. Nonetheless, Leslie, my apologies. I just had to catch that while it was on the screen. But please continue.
It's okay. No, I just wanted to say thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, and I'm glad to be back in the States. There were a lot of things that I missed, mostly my family. I'm glad to be home. I don't like the cold, but it's okay. I'm here. That's why I got up and danced too, because it's so doggone cold. I can't go outside and walk, so I have to
Oh,
move around and dance.
you can go
So, but
outside
it's
and
okay.
walk. You can.
I don't. I'm sis. I'm used to being 80 and 90 degrees outside. I can't do it yet.
You're choosing not to.
I know. I every day I go. Today you going out today, and I look outside, and then there's snow on the ground. No, no, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready yet.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. I feel you. Well, thank you so much for calling in. And send me that message. I look forward to reading it. Thank you.
I'll
Oh,
send
wait,
it.
before
Thank
you
you so
go, how
much.
come you didn't
Yes.
come to the retreat last weekend?
I was at the play. I went to see a play that
Oh,
Saturday night. It
oh,
was so
okay.
good. Yes.
I bet, I bet, I bet. All right. Well, have a good one. We'll talk
Hmm.
again. Thank you.
Okay. Take
All right.
care.
All
Happy
right.
holidays.
Okay. All right. The phone lines are open. So Marcus is saying, I'm not talking about comparatively across genders. I'm talking about basic cognitive reasoning skills. All right. You're not talking about across the board. You're just talking about across the board basic. I don't know. Are you talking about you? Because you seem to not be getting it. You seem to not be getting it. Here he go talking about, oh, here we go again. I mean, listen. All right. Is there one last phone call before I jump off? 323-488-3149. So Vanessa is saying this was great. I learned I'm on the right track. My validation comes from within. Also, not to be afraid to go outside of the grain. Traditional methods aren't always the right way. Have a great evening. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to close up the phone line now, unless if there's somebody who wants to call in, put up a 1. Otherwise, I'm going to close the phone lines. I'm going to give you a few moments to get your to get your vote in, because it takes a few moments from when I say it to when to when you all hear it. So I'm going to give you all a few moments to just get your vote up. If not, then we're going to jump off of here. Oh my gracious, gracious, gracious me, oh my. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Yes, yes, okay. So, mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, you know what? I was looking up what the name of this green thing is. Okay, so sapphire, it was a, let's see. It's not moldavite. Is it a gate? Hold on, let me take a look and see what a gate looks like. Let me see. Oh, okay, look. Oh, no, 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 this is not it. I was going to say for you to all take a look at this, but this is not it. That's not it. Let me go back and see. Um, Somebody said to take a picture of it. Oh, I think it might be Wait, hold on. Let me take a look and see what this looks like. Let me copy and put it over here. Uh, oh, okay. Look at this. Look at this. I think this is it. Hold on. No, no. You know what? I'm going to have to, you know what? I'm going to look at what journal did I have at that time? I know what journal I had, because I would have written it in my journal, because I got this when I was on my healing journey. Take a look at how it looks. Take a look at how it looks. You see that? Let me turn this light down for you all so that you can see the texture of it. You see that? You see, it's not shiny. And you see on the back, it has like some amber in it. I'm going to figure it out. You see that? All right. I'm going to figure it out. I don't have Google Lens, and I'm afraid of some of these things, but I'm going to look in my journal, because I would have written it down, because I know myself. I would have taken the sticker most likely. Oh, look. Look at this. This looks like it right there. Tourmaline. Hold on. Let me put this here. This looks like it, right? Huh. Huh. Very interesting. Oh, the phone is ringing. Let me grab that real quick. Let me grab the phone. Give me 1 second. You're on the air live with Tonya. What's your name and where you calling from?
Amy from Chicago.
Hey, Amy from Chicago. So what's your thoughts about our conversation this evening?
So I am a domestic abuse victim,
Okay.
and just talking about courage from what you guys have been talking about. It took me about 5 years to finally leave from my abusive relationship, and it was really tough because when I was first pregnant, I had been hit, and I didn't really leave instantly. I kept dealing with the relationship, and it wasn't until my second pregnancy currently that I finally decided to leave. And it was very difficult.
Yeah.
But knowing that I couldn't go through that again, and it was causing me PTSD, I left and left with no contact.
Have you filed any police reports? Well, first of all, congratulations on leaving. Have you filed any police reports?
So my first police report, it didn't happen until 3 years into the relationship. And then the second police report that was done didn't happen until a month after that first one was initiated. And he denied it, but he continued to kind of love bomb me, stalk me, try to get others, as they call them, flying monkeys, to also get into the relationship and try to smooth things over and try to make me see there's an issue with the relationship and I shouldn't just jump into calling the cops and involving the courts. But even after the second time that I made the report, he still continued abusing me. And I didn't finally kind of look at the whole relationship until, I would say, 6 months after that. Actually, no, the following year, because it happened the following summer. And it got really bad to the point where he drew blood and slammed my head on the floor. And I couldn't do it. And then a month, and when that had happened, I had a really bad black eye that his own mother had came to visit us that following day. And she had seen it, but she didn't talk to me about it. But she did talk to him about it, her son. And it got to the point where I just, I had to hide. He didn't allow me to leave the house. And if we did leave the house, he would have to be the one to go do the shopping and leave me inside the car. And after 2 months, I would say, after that situation, she had left. She only stayed with us for like 2 weeks. But after 2 months after that situation, he hit me again, twice in the same night. And at that point, I was 6 months pregnant, and I just decided to leave. I contacted the cops. They told me, you are going to have to leave because he's clearly not changing. It's already twice that you already made a report with the courts and the cops. And it's happened more than once. And yeah, I finally left. And within that week, it was nothing but constant arguing for a full week. And he didn't care about no one except for himself. Even though I mentioned to him that I'm scared, you're scaring me, he still continued arguing with me that it had to be, that I had to fix the relationship and what I had broken up, what I had done. But he never once mentioned all the cheating he has done in the past, all the lies that he's done, and kind of just shoving it underneath the rug as if like none of that had an effect towards me. And during my first pregnancy, he had, because we had moved to a different state, and while he was over there trying to figure out a living situation for us, he was having a 6-month relationship with someone else while I was 6 months pregnant. And he didn't tell me about it. I eventually came across the messages. And it turns out he mentioned to the girl that I was his cousin, that he was helping out moving storage stuff. And when I had confronted him about it, because he had left his phone, he basically turned it around, made it about himself, about how I made him feel before he had left. So everything about our relationship was the issue, and that it was okay for him to go ahead and cheat on me while I'm pregnant in a different state. And I've kind of just excused all his behavior. And I mean, I knew this person from like high school. I didn't get with him until like after we had left high school, like I guess you would consider college years. And things have changed so much between us, because he used to be the bodybuilder of back in the day. He used to be the very popular guy in school. And I was a shy girl. And we never really looked at each other like that until after high school, when we finally connected again. And I understood that he went through a lot of trauma as a child, being abused, living in the projects, and just dealing with a lot of turmoil in his family. And I kind of excuse that behavior, because I understand we all go through our trauma as as kids. We all deal with certain things. Even I myself went through some trauma with other kids that kind of like sexually abused me in a way. And it's very, and it's something I even myself had kind of like don't recall as a kid. Well, don't recall too much of it, but I know in my head I still deal with that. And the thing is that he would just make that boost his ego, as if it's like some kind of trauma story to like boost about to others. And it's like, I can understand if you want to connect with other people to talk about it, but if it hurts you that much, why is it that you're allowing it to kind of like make it connect with other people when you know it hurts you so much? And I can understand to a certain point you want to talk about it, but at this point it just seemed like he wanted the attention from it that he got.
Right, of course, of course. So this is why when the guy called in talking about all the trauma that people have gone through in the past and the epigenetic trauma, I'm like, yeah, and because that's a clause. That's not a full sentence. Like, what happens after that? So now with you, so you were in this situation and now you're out of it. Are you somewhere safe?
Oh, I'm in a safe place. I'm grateful now that my child is not dealing with that anymore, because I've noticed that in the environment we were both in before, isolated, we didn't have any family around us, and we barely went out. Let's just say we were in the poverty level.
Yeah. So question for you. So what are you doing to heal whatever existed before the violence began, and what are you doing to heal what is now in the aftermath of that?
Before, I didn't really do too much other than just trying to live with it day by day.
I'd like for you to talk about what it is that you're doing now to heal, please.
And now it's more of like talking to a therapist.
Okay.
Right now just trying to make sure my kid is taken care of daily, because he's autistic. And just noticing that he's doing certain milestones that helps me kind of calm my inner child self.
Okay.
And then I get bored because I'm stuck inside most of the day because I'm pregnant right now with my second child. But trying to do breathing techniques. My therapist recommended me to kind of notice either 5 things in my surrounding whenever I'm having certain like traumatic PTSD moments,
Mm-hmm.
or trying to cry it out from time to time. Try not to let it overcome me as well.
Okay.
And,
Okay. Well, you know what? I'll say this, right? Because there's this new model of therapy where the therapists are doing like CBT life coaching, right? And so, especially if you've been through trauma, there's this modality called EMDR, which is like rapid eye movement while talking about the trauma so that it can be brought up and released. Not every therapist is talking about the past. A lot of therapists are now, because of insurance companies, only talking about the present and the future, like a life coach does. So I definitely want you to make sure that you are being supported. Ask, does your therapist talk with you about the past, about your childhood?
as of right now, no.
Okay, how long have you been with this therapist?
Uh, so I left that situation in September, so it's only been, what is it? It's only been 4 months since I left the situation.
Okay,
And I
so
didn't start my therapy till a month ago.
okay. Ask your therapist whether or not your therapist will talk about your childhood, your past, and uncover things from the past, because I discovered in grad school that there's a new method of therapy that insurance companies are pushing, and that's for the therapist not to bring up the past at all, but to kind of life coach people. And I want to make sure that you are getting to the root of your issues. So ask your therapist about that, and then also write down EMDR. EMDR helps with releasing trauma from the body in particular cases. And this is not an attempt to diagnose or suggest anything other than, you know, talk with your primary care, talk with your therapist about it. Don't take my word for it, but do ask around, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for calling in, and I'm glad that you had the courage to leave that situation. It's not easy. It's not easy.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
All right. All right. So that is the end of our show right there. So we are going to, let's see. Oh, I need something slower than that. I need to just, I need to come on down. So let us talk about, let's see. All right, let's see.
Empty bottles of red wine laying on the floor from last
Let's
night.
talk about our self-love lessons. All right. So this is how we create our self-love lessons. Right. Let me turn this down a little bit. This person is really singing. All right, so let's talk about how we're going to write our self-love lessons. The self-love lesson is written from the I, me. I can't with these lyrics. Let me put something else on. All right. Oh, this is going crazy. I want something. Let me look for some slower music. All right, let me see. Oh, I'm in the wrong playlist. Give me 1 second. I got to look for, here, I found, here. All right, so this is how we're going to type our self-love lessons. We're going to type from the I, me, and we're going to write what we learned about loving ourselves in a new way from this video that we did here today. All right? All right, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to write down what it is that we've learned about a new way to love ourselves from this video. We're going to talk about what we do want. So we're going to talk about things from the positive affirmative. So there's no don't, not, never. We're going to talk about what we do want, okay? So let's get that underway. And then after I get off of here, I am going to, let me see where I'm at. I am going to read a book and relax. SLL, my courage is my freedom. Yes, I feel you on that. I feel you. Yes. Yes. Okay, so what else? What else? Let me see some more self-love lessons. I am more than enough. I love that. I am the abundance in my life. Woo! If that ain't a word, I don't know what is. I am the abundance in my life. I make brave choices and my voice is valuable. Ooh, wow, you all are nailing this. Wow. I will have the courage to make the best decision for me regardless. So now we're adding regardless in there. So we just need to make sure that we don't have anything that we don't want in there. So we're only going to talk about what we do want. So instead of regardless of how it may be perceived, write something else. So I will have the courage to make the best decisions for me. So let's talk about what we do want. And people will love me for it, or I love myself for it. But talk about what you do want. I'm going to promote self-love by forgiving those who... Let's talk about what we do want, okay? Let's talk about what we do want. So let's take away the word trauma. Let's take away all of that. Let's take away all of that and talk about what we do want. So you're promoting self-love by honoring yourself, by making your voice important, by listening to yourself, by setting boundaries. Let's talk about that, because we're talking about what we do want, because when we talk about something, the energy of it brings more of the same. So let's sit in gratitude. Let's talk about what we want. Let's talk about those things. I'm focused on improving the present and future. Okay. Each and every day, your life gets better and better. I love that. I love that. I love that. I only want loving relationships because I love myself. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to think about my self-love lesson from today's video. Okay. My self-love lesson is about doing the work, about continuing on the path of going upward. That's my self-love lesson, because we had a phone call that came in, and rather than that, I'm focusing on going upward. I'm focusing on finding new ways to love myself more. I'm focusing on finding new ways of healing. Each and every day, I'm more and more healed. So that is what I am claiming. Absolutely, absolutely. So thank you all so much for coming out. Let's see what this song is called The Way It Burns. So let's see what this is talking about. The way it burns. I don't know about that. We'll see. Let's see what they're talking about.
Kids, I've been looking for them all my life. Tricks, I'm playing everyone I meet, but somehow you were...
No, we're not talking about your kicks and tricks. We ain't talking about that. Absolutely not. Let me go to my regular playlist. You know what? We'll put on a little Christmas song before we get out of here. Let's see. Hey Santa, this one is called. Come on. I will see you all in the next video. Thank you all so much for coming out.
Hey Santa, the city is covered in snow tonight. Where did my love go? Santa.
Well, she sounds like her and Santa got some stuff going on. I don't know what's happening with her.
All of the presents are still by.
This one is called Jingle John. Let's see what Jingle John is saying.
Jingle with me, baby.
All right, you can jingle with me, baby. Come on.
Jingle with me, baby. Jingle with me, baby. Jingle
What was that song with the guy who was talking about